Bulls versus Blazers. Finally back.
I'm clapping.
The people needed it. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. At a time of great uncertainty, we needed to come back and give, just
these
really...
times are uncertain. I didn't know that these times were uncertain until I saw it in a commercial where they said we live in uncertain times, but we'll get through it together. So I guess the times are uncertain.
Yeah, and I think that this is the place where you just need to hear that again. But actually, no, because
these times are different.
These times are different because guess what? NBA basketball is gonna be happening. Like it's gonna be happening. Like it's like we are here unless Dwight Howard ruins it for everybody.
We're recording this as Dwight Howard has basically come out as an anti-vaxxer, which is at once just really disappointing and also just not surprising at all.
And on the heels of people finding out that he also follows multiple QAnon accounts on Instagram. So the vibes around the Lakers are undeniably bad right now.
They're not good. So we figured for this pilot episode, we're going to do a vibe check around all the teams. The vibes on the Lakers, not good.
Yeah. I mean, are the real Lakers of Los Angeles are really getting back into the headlines in a way that, for most of the regular season, they had not been. They had been the picture of team chemistry, the picture of competence and excellence on the court. And, now they've lost Rondo. Avery Bradley opted out. And now Dwight Howard is saying that he doesn't like masks, is an anti-vaxxer. And it's all a disaster right now, it seems like. It's not. I don't like where it's going for the Lake Show and the real – I mean, it's tremendous content for us and the real Lakers of Los Angeles, but I do feel bad for actual fans of the Lakers and their team. A little bit. As much as anybody could feel bad for the Lakers.
Yeah, but I mean, it sucks also because this was the year that Dwight finally, after the last few years, he had kind of left 4 different teams on bad terms and just didn't. It just seemed like he kind of didn't have a place in the NBA anymore because everybody had just kind of gotten tired of him. And when he signed with the Lakers last summer, everybody kind of made jokes about, oh, this is going to be a disaster. Like the Lakers are desperate.
Yeah.
But then it has actually worked out really well for them because he's been good. He's embraced his role. He isn't trying to post up on every possession anymore. He's been willing to come off the bench. And this is kind of the year that everybody likes Dwight again. But now he's an anti-vaxxer who follows a bunch of QAnon accounts. So I guess we can't like Dwight anymore.
Well, and I thought that honestly, during the middle of when the protests were raging across the country after George Floyd, and like Kyrie was like, maybe we should think about what our social justice impact is going to be. Like Dwight Howard was one of the most vocal guys, and what he was saying was really on point at the time. And like now he's like completely trashed all the goodwill he has built up over the past year. And it sucks. I mean, he was in the dunk contest. It was everything, he had been blessed by Kobe, RIP before everything happened. It seemed like Kobe was really excited that Dwight was on the Lakers, and just like, it's all gone really south really fast. Really, someone needs to get him off Instagram Live. This is
going to sound like a hot take, but Dwight should be suspended for this. It's literally conduct detrimental to the league.
It is conduct detrimental to the league, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, they're not going to do that. But I mean, they should probably suspend him and cut a game check from him or something. But also, he is donating all of his. He was doing this like a week ago. He was all great. He was donating his game checks to charity, and now he's saying that he doesn't believe in vaccinations. It's like, man, like, come on, dude. Like, it's like Dwight got to Orlando and just like all the fuckery returned to his world. Like, he's like, oh, I'm going to be a fucking asshole again. And like remind people why they hated me for a while. Like, it's like, dude, come on, man.
And I'm somebody who's like, over the years, I've been a big Dwight defender.
Same here, dude. I was one of the only people in Lakers media that actually thought it was a good signing.
I've been on the train for years that it's insane that people are even discussing that Dwight is a Hall of Famer. And every time he's signed with a new team, I've always been like, maybe there's a chance he can get back to it. And I felt like this year with the Lakers, my continued defense of him had actually paid off. And now it's like, nope, I can't do that anymore. I'm out. Yeah.
No, I mean, I was all about the Dwight Demption. I was happy for him. He was great. Honestly, for most of the season, he's shooting like 70%, but this is crappy, man. So
it's just like, I mean, I love Steven Jackson's podcast, but nope, Steven Jackson's canceled now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially because he shows absolutely zero remorse for endorsing anti-Semitic viewpoints.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Matt Barnes, if you want to smoke some joints with us on the podcast,
If you need a new co-host,
yeah, just hit us up. Like I'm ready to smoke down with you, Matt Barnes. If you want to do this, like hit us up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so
if you need a new NBA podcast to listen to that isn't anti-Semitic,
you can hook it up with us.
Check out Bulls vs. Blazers,
the non-anti-Semitic boys, the Third Eye Open boys.
We keep our third eye open, but not in like a Kyrie Illuminati flat Earth like conspiracy theory way.
Yeah, in like a just pay attention. That's all. We're not asking you to like go deep into anything. We're just asking you to pay attention to current events. That's all.
Yeah,
that's it.
And so I think the way this podcast is going to work, we're going to do one episode every week for free. That's just on a normal feed, and then we're also going to have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/BullsVBlazers, which is the same as our Twitter and Instagram handles. So it's all kind of together. So you make sure you follow us on all those platforms and go subscribe to our Patreon. We kept it pretty simple. It's not a lot of tiers. It's just one tier, $3 a month. You get an extra episode every week. So you get twice the amount of content. And, you know, we're going to try to have sponsors for the free episodes. We're going to try to sell ads. We're going to try to make some money off this. If we do end up getting sponsors and having ad reads on the free episodes, then Patreons are also going to get an ad-free version of those episodes.
Yes. So we're going to try and make sure that the Patreon pays off and it's not just, you know, that we're going to do more with your subscription. And hopefully, you know, we also, you know, the whole point of Patreon is we want to make a little money. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we're in a pandemic. It's rough out there in the game right now.
Yeah. We're not at live sporting events anymore like we used to be, you know.
I wanted to go to Orlando, but it was just, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all did. I mean, most of us in the NBA media, I think, wanted to try and go. But hey, we're going to be covering the bubble from here. There's going to be games like literally all day, every day, starting from like July 31st through the middle of August. So there's going to be a ton of things to talk about. Great
bubble social media content.
Oh, tons. Yeah. Shout out to Meyers Leonard. Shotgun beer champion. Shout out to also Hassan Whiteside, who's been posting great content. He ordered a whole lobster last night to his room
from one of the Tillman Fertitta owned restaurants that they partnered with for food delivery.
Yeah, which I have been told that Tillman Fertitta actually makes good food, but they are totally just like bailing him out. The NBA, because he's been complaining to the president that he's losing like $1 million a day or some shit. And then well,
remember at the beginning of the pandemic, he was the one that wanted them to just try to keep playing because he just knew that because all of his money is in restaurants and casinos.
Right.
And so he was just completely in a position where he was going to lose all this money, especially because he didn't even have a lot of money to begin with, because he when he bought the Rockets a couple of years ago, he borrowed basically $2 billion from his other businesses and dumped a bunch of debt into those businesses in order to buy the Rockets. So he's not the most liquid guy anyway. And then once it seemed like the NBA might have to suspend the season or play games without fans, he was the one pushing back on that because he was going to lose even more money than he was already going to lose, because all of his restaurants and casinos were going to lose all their business because of the pandemic.
Yeah, and I didn't know this, but the movie Casino is actually based on the Fertitta family.
I did not know that.
So, that's something else too that's a wrinkle to this. And maybe because the NBA wants to have a relationship with casinos, they had him become an owner. Because he also had to borrow, I think, $200 million from the former owner of the Rockets, Les Alexander, to make the sale happen.
And he got some crazy interest rate too. He got like a 25% interest rate on his loans.
Yeah. I mean, but Fertitta's getting the food money from the guys that have the sanctioned spots. There's no Postmates. It's all on an made NBA app that is for people that live in the bubble, basically. That is like just for them. And that's how they order the food. Sorry to Richaun Holmes for, trying to get Postmates. And also,
in his defense, his former teammate Kelly Oubre tried to kind of put people onto the idea that, hey, you could get Postmates, and then it ended up just not. It blew up in everybody's face.
Yeah, the one thing I'm really disappointed about is that we still don't know what he ordered.
Yeah,
and come on, what are the sources for, man? Like carrying all that water for people. Come on, let's get that food content for us.
We need the real scoop.
We need the real scoop. Come on.
I don't really care about Damian Lillard's birthday party.
I don't. I want to know what Richaun Holmes got Postmated.
There was I forget who it was, but there was a player yesterday who said, "Yeah, the bubble's going great, except I really miss Chipotle." Like, did he try to order Chipotle? Like, I need to know what he tried to order.
Players do love Chipotle. You know that they have like those like Chipotle gives like all pro athletes basically like these like Chipotle gift cards basically that they can. It's like a black card basically, like an American Express black card where it's just like you just come in and you just get your Chipotle as a free athlete because it's healthy. You know, it gets a lot of.
Does Danny
food.
Ainge have one of those? Because he's a big Chipotle guy too.
Maybe he does. Maybe he should get on that. But I do know that there's a lot of players, like current players, that get these like special Chipotle cards that they can run through the register to get free Chipotle, basically.
Yeah. So we should go. We're going to kind of run through. We're not going to have this episode be too long, but we're going to run through all the teams in the playoffs and just kind of do a vibe check. The Lakers, we've already decided the vibes are bad because
bad vibes.
And it sucks too because LeBron has been posting these pictures on Instagram of what he's looking like these days as far as in shape, and he looks incredible.
Yeah.
But his teammate is an anti-vaxxer, so the Lakers are losing in the first round.
Yeah, that's really bad. I mean, Anthony Davis, I guess he's fine. They haven't had Markieff Morris, which I guess that's kind of negligible, but they did lose Rondo. And we at this podcast believe in playoff Rondo. We have seen it with our own eyes in person, and it's for real. And they're going to miss that. Like, I think the Lakers fans, they love Caruso. They hate Rondo. But Rondo, they needed what Rondo is giving them. And now they're really counting heavily on Dion Waiters to be like their backup point guard, ball handler guy on the second unit. And
JR, who hasn't played in 18 months.
Right. And well, I mean, yeah, JR is going to be like, you're going to want him just in the corner shooting threes and playing some defense. But like Dion's actually going to have the ball in his hands. And like, it hasn't been that good recently.
Yeah. Like,
he just hasn't been in good shape. But if he can find that Miami Dion Waiters, then they'll have something. But the 2017 Miami Dion Waiters,
or even Oklahoma City Dion Waiters, 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
That was the
Dion
best
Waiters.
Dion Waiters.
Yeah, he was great because he was a role player. He fit in. He shot the three. He played good defense. They put a 3-1 lead on the Warriors before they blew it. He was good.
Yeah.
Clippers vibe check.
I think the Clippers vibes are pretty good right now. Doc had some great words about John Lewis, who passed away a couple days ago. You know, we're big Doc fans.
Yeah, we're big Doc fans. Only bad vibe is Montrezl Harrell having to leave the bubble for a family emergency, and they need him like that. But they should. I mean, hopefully the issue resolves itself, and he doesn't have to quarantine for too long when he comes back, and they can have him when they have the games start to count. But honestly, right now, I would guess that he's probably going to miss game one of the restart, the Lakers Clippers opener.
Which isn't going to really matter too much because the Clippers are fine. They're going to be the 2 seed.
Yeah, and the Lakers, I don't.
But Doc has said that Kawhi is healthy. He has no limitations. Just, I don't know. Vibes seem pretty good. I think the vibes are way better with the Clippers than they are.
Yeah, they are right now. And PG seems fine. Like he got some time to heal because I think he had some things going on with a hamstring before the hiatus, so he's been able to heal.
Yeah.
So that's good. Vibes on the Clippers are pretty good.
It's been so long. I can't even remember like what injuries anybody had.
Yeah, I think Landry. I want to say Landry Shamet had something pop up, but I think he's going to be okay.
Landry Shamet is not in the bubble because he tested positive.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so that's why he's not in the bubble. Okay, so Landry Shamet not with the squad yet, but I mean, obviously,
I would say Clippers vibes are neutral to good.
Yeah, neutral to good. Especially in comparison to the Lakers. The team, though, that has the worst vibes in Orlando by far is the Denver Nuggets, who are the 3 seed right now.
Not good.
They're
Nikola Jokic just got there, tested positive from Serbia. Like half their team is still not there.
Yeah, like Gary Harris is like reported today by Kendra Andrews that he's just on his way there now, but he still has to quarantine for at least 2 days. So like he's still going to miss like another day or two of practice, if not more. And so their vibes are not good. Yeah, they have 3 guys, Torrey Craig, Michael Porter Jr., and Monty Morris, that are not with the team. They have not released whether they've...
And they also were seen on Instagram going to a party.
Yeah, dude.
That was not socially distant.
Absolutely not.
So...
They were rolling deep. They were rolling deep there. They're not taking care of business, man. Young teams. They're running Bol at the 3 in practice right now. The vibes are terrible.
Yeah.
They're having the least productive training camp of any team in the restart.
It's a bad time. So they're definitely losing.
Yeah, we're out on Denver. Although hopefully Jokic is healthy and fine and he doesn't have any ill effects of the corona.
Yeah.
But I do have a thing that I think, I mean, he's still going to be great. He's an all-star. He's going to be good no matter what. But I do think he might have a little bit of an adjustment period having lost all that weight.
Yeah, Skinny Jokic is the new. I mean, in the skinny ranking, Skinny Jokic still ranks behind SkinnyMelo, but we'll get to the Blazers.
Yeah, we'll get to the Blazers. Utah, I mean, undeniable bad vibes.
Terrible vibes. Yeah, not respecting the Jazz.
We don't respect the Jazz. And also, there is still a lot of, it seems like there's some friction between Mitchell and Gobert still. And, we had the.
And Bojan is out.
Bojan is out. I mean, and they're saying that Mike Conley looks as good as he's ever been, which seems like a lot of
best shape of his
life, which I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily believe it just because we watched Mike Conley and he was healthy the whole season and he just wasn't very good. And he might have just hit that point guards hit when they get into their early 30s sometimes where, like, unless you're Chris Paul, that you just hit the wall. And maybe Conley did. Maybe he's just not as good and he's overpaid. So, but Oklahoma City has good vibes.
Great vibes.
We love the Oklahoma.
Among the best vibes in Orlando.
Yes. I mean, they've been hanging out together playing cornhole, as we've seen. Apparently, Steven Adams went back to New Zealand where they had the coronavirus on lock. It was like the best place to be in the world with the corona.
Yeah.
And he said he was working on his rebounding by boxing out cows, which we love to see. He's going to crush beers also. I'm surprised he hasn't challenged Meyers Leonard, honestly. I would like to see the Steven Adams beer crushing. And then, so their vibes are good. Everyone's healthy. Andre Roberson's back.
He hasn't played in like 2 years.
That's great vibes. That's actually even more. I'm starting to feel the OKC vibes. Like,
people forget that Andre Roberson was different.
His
as a defender. Now he was specifically not a bucket, but
his defense was a problem. So, he gives them another defender, that's for sure. And if they face, the Clippers or something in a playoff series, like having more of those guys is going to be great against Kawhi and PG. So, and then also CP is going to be extra amped to play against the fucking Clippers. Like, let's be real. Like, he's going to want to go at them.
Absolutely.
So I hope we can get that. I want OKC to either fall to 7. That's not going to happen, but I want OKC versus the Clippers at some point. Houston.
Not great vibes.
Not great vibes. Russell Westbrook tweeted that he tested positive for the Rona. And James Harden showed up late under conspicuous circumstances.
Sketchy circumstances. And he showed up wearing a Blue Lives Matter.
Yes.
Mask,
yes.
Which he then said that he doesn't know what that means, which I believe him. I don't think he meant anything by it. I think he actually did not know what it meant. But considering all of the Black Lives Matter and social justice stuff that has been talked about as one of the points of the restart, not a great look.
He has been training in Arizona.
Yeah, and Young Thug had to tweet that that James Harden actually doesn't know what that is because he doesn't have internet, which I honestly believe.
I just, someone said this the other day. It's like, okay, so everybody's hitting up the IG models and like James Harden is just like sending like letters via owl. Like, I'm supposed to believe that he really doesn't have the fucking internet. Like, I'm sorry.
He's sending messages in a bottle.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe he doesn't know the extent to what that means, but the fact that he doesn't have the internet is total bullshit. Like, I'm sorry. Young Thug is doing great coverage work for James Harden. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah. I mean, I respect
Dallas. Good vibes, I feel like.
Pretty decent vibes. Overall, pretty decent vibes.
I mean, it seems like Boban is one of the stars of the bubble so far. And the lusting eyes of Tobias Harris towards him and being sad that they're not friends anymore and not hanging out.
Is that going to be a big tampering scandal? Like, everybody's talking about, like, who's going to recruit Giannis? Like, are they going to recruit Boban back to the Sixers?
Who knows?
I feel like that's
they already have a zillion big men. Maybe they do an Al Horford for Boban trade since the Al Horford thing is not working out.
Just straight up Al Horford.
Yeah, totally. That'll work. Not even though the salaries don't work at all.
Hell yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, that's also a fair talent.
Yeah, totally. Sorry to be the Al Horford hater here. I know he's had a tough season, but okay, Houston, we talked about Dallas, we talked about Memphis. Their vibes are good to neutral, I would say. They have no injuries. I like their team chemistry. I like Dylan Brooks. I like John Morant.
John Morant had a fuck the police jersey graphic that he posted on Instagram. He had to walk it back, but he still posted it. So we're big.
Yeah, big John Morant. And also John Morant was like, I ain't snitching. Like, they were like asking, like, what are you going to do about the NBA snitching? I was like, I ain't see shit.
A, I ain't snitching. B, I'm not going to complain about the food because I grew up poor. So
yeah, shout out to Ja for having a good head on his shoulders.
Yes.
And then Portland, dude, the vibes, come on.
Phenomenal vibes.
Incredible vibes. Championship vibes. Definitely have.
Nurkic is healthy. Collins is healthy. SkinnyMelo.
Yeah, Melo's playing the 3, his natural position. He's happy to be playing the 3 again. He's lost a lot of weight. He also
they threw a surprise birthday party for Dame,
which which is a big topic in the last Zoom call with Damian Lillard for some reason.
Yeah, people really. By the way, these media Zoom calls are just very hit and miss.
What does Dame time look like? Sorry.
That was the best question of all time. I don't want to throw the lady under the bus who asked it, but
we're not going to say who it was, but someone
But on the first Zoom call, I'm actually going to pull this up to read the question verbatim because I actually still have it from my note.
No, that deserves. And also I think Gary Trent has been very good. A lot of people are talking about him. I think not having Trevor Ariza, that sucks. Like there's no way around that. They are going to miss him, but it seems like the vibes are good. They're chilling. Dame is having a good time. CJ seems like he's in really good shape still. And
Whiteside's been doing some good social media content. Okay, I'm going to read this Dame Zoom quote. Or this is a question that was asked to Dame on his first Zoom call since training camp opened. Here's the question. Right now, you're playing in a time of multiple clutch situations. Social injustice to face, the pandemic, a championship. What is Dame time going to look like in response to the current time?
Which I had to turn my mic off in the middle of that fucking call because I was dying when I heard that shit. And Dame, being a pro as always, gave a great answer.
Dame is such a good sport.
Yeah, he really is. But it was funny as hell when I heard that. Like, what does Dame time look like? It honestly sounded like the fake press conferences we watch on Survivor's Remorse, which we used to do, which we have a pod about, but it was that level.
It was honestly like I was totally tempted to write my lead. I have a Dame thing coming out for Bleacher Report in about a week. I was so tempted to use that question as my lead and have it be Damian Lillard hit a buzzer beater against the Thunder last year. Now, he must hit a buzzer beater to defeat systemic racism and a global pandemic.
It's a 37-footer to end racism. Dude, that was so. Oh man. Yeah. Okay, Pelicans. Unfortunately, bad vibes. Zion.
Yeah, not good vibes. Zion had to leave. Unfortunately, I mean, it seems like a family situation. Hopefully, everything's good there.
Same with Montrez.
We all, as much as the NBA definitely set this whole schedule up because they want Zion in the playoffs. As fans, we want to watch Zion.
Yeah, we want to see Zion on the court.
We hope that everything is good with his family. He's able to come back soon. We want to see that.
Well, they scheduled him to be the opening game. And so,
which is kind of like it sucks that this is kind of what's happened to the NBA this whole year. Because remember, they put the Pelicans were the Raptors' opponents for ring night on opening night. They put the Pelicans on TV like 30 times throughout the season, and then Zion missed the first 3 months of the year. So
I mean, he's healthy from all we know. So we just hope he stays healthy. Hope his family's okay, and we hope that his quarantine is not too long, just because we like watching him play. And then Sacramento. Bad vibes. De'Aaron Fox got a bad ankle injury in practice that's going to keep him out maybe 14 days. And then Buddy Hield tested positive for the Rona.
Also Rashawn Holmes.
And Rashawn Holmes is in quarantine. So the Kings, not good vibes.
Yeah.
And San Antonio, neutral vibes, which I think is how they want to be.
Yeah.
I feel like they're very neutral.
Which actually, I'd say good vibes because Gregg Popovich spent an entire availability talking about reparations.
Tight. Okay, good vibes on the Spurs, even though they don't have LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah. Always good vibes on Pop.
Here's the thing. They have nothing to lose. Like, nobody expects them to do shit. They're going to run Lonnie. They're going to give the rock to Lonnie Walker a bunch. They're going to run 3 guards out there with Murray and White and
they know they're not making the playoffs. They know they have no reason to be there. They're just trying to be there.
They're there for the league.
You think Pop has any interest in being there? Why would Pop even want to?
I mean, he's just there to be a good sport for the league. He's being a good soldier. I mean,
they're helping the Spurs recoup some of that TV money. That's
So that's basically it. And then Phoenix in the West is our last team. Good vibes. Monty Williams is the best. He had some great things to say about John Lewis yesterday. The Kelly Oubre thing is fucking hilarious. And also DeAndre Ayton's healthy. He was playing well. And Booker, I think, is going to thrive in this environment. Like, it's going to be basically a pickup game in a lot of these games. And I think while the Suns have absolutely no chance to make it to the playoffs, being that they're 6 games back of Memphis, they are going to be good vibes. I
would say low stakes. Good vibes
low stakes, good vibes for the Suns. Now to the East, Milwaukee, good vibes. Pretty good vibes. I mean, they're healthy, except for Bledsoe. Bledsoe tested positive. That is one that happened. So he's still not with the team, and he's their starting point guard. Good news for them is George Hill has kicked ass this year. Dante DiVincenzo has gotten better this year, and then of course they have the MVP. Wesley Matthews' hair is amazing vibes. Have you seen Wesley Matthews' throw in the bubble?
I have. It's excellent. It's like Jared Allen.
Yeah, Jared Allen level vibe, which I did not know Weslly had that. I did not know Wesley had that in his game. Yeah.
He's fully leaning into being washed. He's kind of got the Andre Miller aspect.
Yeah, I like it. Only
like the Sixers era Andre Miller.
So ultimately they have good vibes, except for the Eric Bledsoe thing. But
hope he gets well soon. Hope he's able to come into the bubble, and be healthy and all that.
Toronto, I think, has the best vibes in the East.
Terrific vibes.
They were in Florida for a month before everybody else. They have been in the routine longer than everybody else.
Zero positive tests.
They pulled up to the hotel in a Black Lives Matter bus that had a fat decal that just said Black Lives Matter on the back with NBA champions and the trophy. Like, ultimate flex by the Raptors. Incredible.
Nick Nurse has some new colorways of his logo hat that are fire.
Yeah,
so that's
Marc Gasol is looking healthy. Everyone's healthy for the first time all year for the Raptors, which is the biggest reason to believe in their vibes. And they have a 3-game lead on Boston, who's right behind them. I don't think Boston's going to try very hard to get that 2 seed. I just think they're going to be content to get into the Philadelphia series and hopefully play Philadelphia. Miami, great vibes. I would say second best
Meyers Leonard
in the East.
Meyers Leonard shotgunning beers.
Yes.
Jimmy Butler getting snitched on in the snitch hotline for working out too hard in his hotel room during quarantine, which he 100% snitched on himself and planted the story to Chris Haynes so that it would leak that he was just working too hard.
Bam Adebayo just had a birthday. I think there's a lot of
Tyler Herro is a white player wearing Black Lives Matter on his jersey, so that's cool.
That's also cool. Shout out to Tyler Herro for that. Tyler Herro also quarantine champion, on Instagram flexing throughout the hiatus. So props to Tyler Herro and his game with IG models. And but I have to say, dude, like there is a little bit of I don't know if Philadelphia or Indiana is going to be the 5 or 6, but let's say Indiana gets it. I mean, Miami's going to win that, and then although Indiana might have some vibe changing because Oladipo seems to be back. Let's maybe go to there first. Let's go to Oladipo.
Yeah, I would say the vibes are neutral with Indy right now because it seemed like it was bad when Oladipo didn't play, but now suddenly he's going to play. So, and it seems like there was maybe some dispute about he realized he wasn't going to get his money if he didn't play, and so now he's
right. But and then he was practicing and he was healthy, and there was like a hesitation that he might not be healthy, and then Nate McMillan has been saying that there's no restrictions on what he's been doing in practice, that he's been going hard just like everybody else has, and that he's looked like himself, which frankly he did not before. Like when the season ended, the Pacers were better without him this year.
I kind of hope that we do get to see a healthy Oladipo because I think between his injury last year that he missed most of the season and then he missed most of this season, he basically missed a full calendar year of games. And when he came back this year, he wasn't that good because he was still working his way back from the injury. I mean, Indy is going to be good with or without him regardless. They're always going to be solid because that team is so well coached and they're so deep, and Domantas Sabonis took a big leap forward this year, and so did Miles Turner.
Also, Malcolm Brogdon, good vibes in the streets with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah,
great vibes from Malcolm Brogdon.
I think people forget that healthy Victor Oladipo is a bucket.
This is true. People do forget that. Listen, I remember covering that Cavs Pacers series for LeBron Wire a couple years ago, and I mean Oladipo was by far the best player on their team that year, and took all the big shots, and they almost won. Mm-hmm. I mean, they pushed him to 7 games. So. If Indiana can be healthy and they can actually play together with Oladipo on the floor, because I think that's the next step. They just haven't done that yet. But then that Miami series might be good if they've placed Miami. But I think Miami in the next round has a much better chance of pulling an upset against Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And then there's Philly.
Yeah. I would say Sixers good vibes.
Yeah, Ben Simmons is healthy, looking jacked.
He's playing power forward.
Yeah, they're going to bring Horford off the bench. Shake Milton
Simmons hit a 3-pointer in practice, and that they posted a video of it, and everybody kind of freaked out
which,
about it, so,
as we know,
that's going to become a thing again.
Exactly. Simmons shooting the 3. Shake Milton, though, I mean, he gives them a guy that they really have not had for like the entirety of the Simmons Embiid era, in like a guy that can really create his own shot and is a good 3-point shooter and can just get his own stuff without having to be served by Simmons or have someone double team off of Embiid. And so, at least at the guard spot,
Embiid showed up in a hazmat suit as a shot at Kendrick Perkins, so that's definitely good vibes.
Definitely good vibes as well. Apparently, he's also nice with the Clippers, according to Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris got a haircut, and he said that Joel Embiid was the one that lined him up. And CJ McCollum was like, "Props, dude! Like, who cut it?" And so that's how we found out that it was Embiid. So good vibes, Team Barber, Joel Embiid. Always good to have a guy around that's willing to give you free haircuts. We could all use that right now in the quarantine.
Yeah, I haven't had a haircut since February.
I had one, but it's
which, as we know, Terry Stotts made fun of me for it on his.
We're the made fun of Terry boys on this. We get called out on Zoom calls. I was in bed for one, which was my fault, but whatever.
Terry, subscribe to our Patreon. It's the least thing you can.
Give us $3. Give us $3 a month, Terry. And then also Brooklyn. Unfortunately, terrible vibes. Like the worst. Maybe not the awful worst vibes, because I think Denver has the worst vibes, because Denver has like
Denver and the Lakers.
Yeah. And the Rockets.
I guess Kyrie isn't there in the bubble, but do we think Kyrie's an anti-vaxxer? I feel like there's a chance. There's
a chance. I think, there's definitely a crossover between hardcore veganism and anti-vaxxers. Like, there's a Venn diagram of that. And so, like,
I mean, Kyrie's also just into all kinds of conspiracy. Like, he probably thinks that, like, vaccines are an Illuminati conspiracy.
Something. But anyway, like, half their team got the virus when they were back in New York. Taurean Prince, Spencer Dinwiddie, DeAndre Jordan. Basically half their team got it. And after already having had it, Kevin Durant had it earlier in the year. So
then I would say Jamal Crawford coming back is good vibes, but then Michael Beasley coming back, which used to be good vibes, then he tested positive for COVID, and now he's back out of the bubble, so that's bad vibes again.
They're going to play a lot. They're going to give a lot more minutes to Rodion Kurucs, which is bad vibes.
People forget he's a bad dude.
Yeah. Yeah. People forget that his actions off the court are a problem.
Absolutely.
So anyway,
Celtics terrible vibes.
I mean, I wouldn't say terrible vibes.
I would, because Gordon Hayward's original statement about George Floyd was all lives matter.
Anything Gordon Hayward.
I would say
vibes. That's true. And I mean, the one thing though, I mean, Celtics Twitter is in on this conspiracy theory, and I kind of am into it, that until Gordon Hayward's wife goes into labor, he's going to be balling, because he always performs better on the road when he can just veg out and play video games all day.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I mean, that's possible. But I mean, I will say on the other hand, for the Celtics, Enes Kanter is the only active player to speak out against anti-Semitism with the whole Steven Jackson situation.
So that's good vibes.
So that's definitely
definitely good vibes. And also Jaylen Brown was one of the leaders on the protests in Atlanta after the murder of George Floyd. And he's been good. And so I'm a big Jaylen Brown fan. I think my tiers are like, I have like Toronto. I feel like Toronto and Miami are my most surprised teams. I get Milwaukee obviously is the favorite, and then Boston can kind of get frisky maybe, but they are like fourth on my watch list.
Gordon Hayward takes the vibes down significantly.
Yeah. Orlando, they're probably going to get the 7th seed. Their vibes are neutral. They're there.
They're fine. They're there.
They're there. They're gonna get whooped by the Raptors in round 1. And then Washington, which is the one team that no one knows why they're here, in my opinion. I mean, Phoenix is kind of that way, but at least Phoenix has a healthy Devin Booker and Ayton, and they're fun, and they have some fun players. But Washington's team is completely decimated. It's gonna be Ish Smith and them boys. Like, that's it.
Thomas Bryant,
Garrison Matthews,
Rui Hachimura.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be a big Rui. Maybe that's why they got him in there, so they get the Japan ratings. So they get Rui out there so that
but I mean, Bradley Beal opted out. John Wall is still not back from his Achilles. Davis Bertans opted out.
He's a free agent, so he wants to make sure he doesn't get hurt and mess up his money, which we can't argue with.
Yeah.
But their vibes are not good.
Well, but I mean, they know they're only going to be here for 8 weeks.
Brooklyn could have also changed their vibes by signing Isaiah Thomas.
But they still might. They still got room. They've still got
that could change someone's vibes if someone gets Isaiah Thomas. That's the one guy. That's the next bucket that I want in the bubble.
Yeah, people forget. It's him and Swaggy P are the two that are still kind of left.
Yeah, I guess, and like,
although I feel like there's probably a good chance Swaggy P is an anti-vaxxer.
There's also a good chance that Swaggy P is definitely done. Like, let's be real. Like, he got a shot with Denver last year, and it lasted like a week. And he, like, come on. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit different than, like, J.R. Smith. Like, J.R. Smith has just been waiting, like, for the right moment. Yeah. But, yeah, I think Swaggy's time has passed him by. But, dude, good to be back. But the vibe check, yes, the vibe check complete.
Yeah. So we're going to start actually doing these for real the week of the restart. We don't know the exact date yet, but the week of the restart, it's going to be one free episode and one Patreon episode a week. Make sure you hit the Patreon, subscribe, give us money. You get exclusive content. We're going to be with you. We're going to be back with you. You know, we really wanted to bring this podcast back for, like, how long has it been? Like 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, we stopped doing our last year was when 2016, when the Cavs won the championship. That was our last year of the pod.
Well, that was when you got laid off by the Colombian, and then I took the athletic job and started doing Locked On Bulls, and so we kind of both just didn't have time to do it. But now it's like we're in this pandemic. We're both kind of more in a place in our careers where we have more time and freedom to do this. So we're going to do it. And, you know, we're excited. People have hit us up since we announced we were bringing it back, saying that we're excited. As of now, I still don't have my Twitter account back. I don't know when I will get it back or if I will get it back. So, you know, if you're listening to this, make sure you tweet at Twitter at #FreeHighkin. We're starting a movement.
Yes, we are absolutely starting a movement. Join up, keep your third eye open. You know, just be aware of what's happening. We will try to keep you aware if you've missed it. That's what we're here for. We're here to be there for you, to give you the skinny on what's happening in the league. That other people are
just, if you believe in the vision, give us Patreon subscriptions.
Yes. And tell your friends. That's also good.
Tell your friends. Absolutely. And, you know, we're working on getting this on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you go. Subscribe, rate, review, whatever you want to do. You know, if you're a sponsor, bullsvsblazerspod@gmail.com, slide in our emails. We'll happily sell out.
Yeah, we'll happily sell out. Send us any questions or topics you want us to touch on. You know,
especially if you're a Patreon, we might make it so that if you can only ask us questions if you're a Patreon subscriber. I don't know.
Maybe we'll get there. But yes, thank you for listening. We're happy to be back. We're stoked that there's gonna be basketball to talk about. Unless Dwight Howard ruins it.
Yeah. Wear a mask. Don't listen to Dwight Howard.
In general, I guess probably just don't listen to Dwight on anything. And stay mellow.
Stay mellow always. We'll be back in a couple weeks once the season actually started. Thanks for listening. You gotta get yours. I gotta get mine. You gotta get yours. I gotta get mine. Can I get a